Probably one of Mississippi's best interpreters of life and living was writer Eudora Welty. She put down in her stories so many things we saw every day but never really saw until she wrote about them. And much of her musing time was spent here in her backyard where she and her mother had created and maintained the flower gardens. Now, these gardens are half the reason people come see the Eudora Welty house and garden. But the yard's had a tough year this year, and it started way before the hot summer we're having. Jessica Russell's the director of the Eudora Welty House and Garden.
Not only this summer, but we've had a whole year of extremes, starting with that terrible freeze on Christmas Day and then a hard freeze in March, and now here we're having an extreme summer, so the garden has been challenged a lot this year.
Yet the backyard, the upper and lower garden, and all of it looks great. How do you have a drought and Las Vegas genre heat in Mississippi and still keep the flowers blooming? Well, obviously priority, but the garden project specialist at the Welty House, Lauren Claret, says it's a matter of staying on top of things.
Sure, yes. So we are keeping this garden alive with a lot of irrigation, monitored very closely. We are also noticing, whenever there's maybe some holes in the irrigation, we'll take a hose out or a sprinkler out and hit those spots.
There's a small army of volunteers who help keep the yard doesn't hurt, weeding and mulching. Jessica says mulching is one of their secret weapons in the yard.
So besides watering and irrigation, we also focus on locking moisture in. Adding mulch is really helpful to keep moisture in the ground. We also like to put compost around some of our plants. That's really an extra boost of nutrition.
So for somebody who doesn't have irrigation, I would just take a hose out and I would do it evening, about sunset or later.
Gardening is akin to writing stories, says Ms. Welty. No experience could have taught me more about grief or flowers, about achieving survival by going your fingers in the ground, the limit of physical exhaustion. Probably slept well that night after a day in the garden, too.